Good morning. Today we wake up to more news that the looting that happened in Parliament is not only exclusive to Parliament but to councils as well. This has been going on for years, unbeknown to us. And this is a rule that was put in place by ZANU-PF. But unfortunately, the opposition, instead of criticizing it and exposing it, they jumped onto the bandwagon and started getting pieces of land at a discount of 40%. Now, Zimbabwe's got over 1,200 councillors across the country. It means 1,200 pieces of land and continue to be sold at a discounted price of 40%. This is very unfortunate because councillors and members of parliament are supposed to be going to these institutions to serve and not to loot. Councillors are supposed to be going there not as a job, but to be going there to be our servants, to look after the interests of the majority. These pieces of land that are owned by councils are meant to be given or sold at a reasonable price to poor members of our societies. Poor members of our society who cannot afford to buy land or to buy a home. That was the original idea, that people who cannot afford to buy a piece of land, who are ordinary citizens, will get access to this land. Now, our councillors have been using this land to self-enrich themselves. And you notice that I don't talk much about ZANU-PF because we expect ZANU-PF to loot, but we don't expect the opposition to do the same. They were elected and continue to be elected on a moral ticket that they are supposed to go and clean the mess that has been created by ZANU-PF in the past 42 years. Now, if the same councillors who have been elected on a moral ticket are going in there and doing the very thing that they were elected to stop, it simply means that we have a group of politicians outside ZANU-PF who are envious of the looting that is taking place in state institutions, including council by ZANU-PF, and they are fighting to be included, as Dr. Ngusana Moyo said, instead of fighting to change the system. They want to be part of the system. They are fighting for their place on the trough. Now, the opposition leader, Nelson Chamisa, said that communities are going to elect their own members of parliament. They are going to elect, or rather select, their own councillors. This is yet another opportunity for citizens, if this is going to be adhered to select the right people that will deliver services and not be focused on self-enrichment for themselves. It shouldn't be the responsibility of us, the citizens, to give a decent and dignified life to politicians. I've read the document, and I'm sure you've read it too, and its justifications, which says that councillors should live dignified lives. Once you follow that way of thinking, that narrative, it means all those who do not have the capacity to serve will simply run for office in order to get that dignified lifestyle that is being talked about in the document which was put out by the ZANU-PF Minister of Local Government. It is not our responsibility as citizens of this country to give politicians a decent life. If it were a situation where they say a councillor is going to use a council facility during the duration of their time as a councillor, and they leave it to the council once they've left office, that's fine. But this is not the case. This is council land that has been given away at a discount, almost 50% discount. 40% is almost 50% discount. If somebody buys a piece of land worth 100,000, they save 40,000. 40,000 US dollars can build a maternity theater. We are complaining every day about lack of service delivery by these councils. And yet, this is what they're doing. People are busy looking for pieces of land. How then do you criticize ZANU-PF for looting state land, which it does and has been doing for a long time, when you are also part of looting council land? It becomes impossible. So this needs to change. We need councillors who go in there and say, yes, this is the policy that was put in place by ZANU-PF, but we are not going to do what this policy says. We are going to criticize it. We are going to oppose it. We are going to make sure that it is removed. That is the idea of an alternative, not one that goes into council or parliament and simply continue with the same business of looting that has been happening under ZANU-PF for over 42 years. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to understand that if you put a hungry rat in a granary, the granary will be emptied. And that's the situation we find ourselves with. We need to be truthful to ourselves. In the 80s, you would not be a councillor if you did not own a piece of land in the ward that you are running to be a councillor. If you did not own a piece of land or a home there, you would not run. Because what are you running for? What service are you bringing to council? If your life is disorganized such that you can't even own a piece of land, how can you suddenly work some magic and deliver services for us, the ordinary citizens of this country? I know some people will talk about it being an elitist policy, but it's not. It recognizes that you cannot understand issues to do with rates when you are not paying rates yourself. I think on paper this policy is not there, but it should be practiced. We've got a lot of councillors across the urban spectrum of this country who represent wards where they don't live. How do you understand the issues that are affecting the people that you're representing if you don't live amongst those people? We need to have a system which has been practiced in so many ways in some other places. For instance, Job Scala, he might afford to live outside Chitungwiza, but he lives with his people and he understands their problem or problems. That is why he's popular there. I think it's important for the opposition to realize that it's not business as usual. If they select people that are going to continue with the ZANU-PF system, we will simply not vote for them. We would rather field independents who are going to council to deliver service, who are there to serve and not to amass wealth. Imagine over 1,200 pieces of land going at a discount of 40% every 5 years. That is money that should be going to health services in councils. That is money that should be going to buying trucks that pick rubbish, trash outside our homes. Council is poor, it's charging rates to citizens, and then they give each other 40% discount on pieces of land. That is unacceptable. A piece of land that will cost, say, $100,000 US, someone pays 60,000. That's 40,000 lost to the citizens of cities and many other rural areas where it's happening under ZANU-PF and the opposition. We need the opposition to make a pronouncement on this. Are they going to continue with this looting in 2023? Are they going to bring the same people that have been quiet about this looting in 2023? This will help citizens make up their minds on what sort of people they are going to elect in 2023. It's unacceptable and it should be stopped.